Most of the team isn't even here today. But the team of this Acts 2 journey was myself, Lori, Dr. Doug, Alicia, Marla, Dwayne, Mark, and Janet. And we've been working on this, man, was the first meeting?
This last fall, I believe.
Yeah, so we're, at least. So about a year.
Man,
about a year. So I'm going to hand it over to him. He's going to share a bit of this. And what's going to happen with the order of service today, there's going to be a challenge. We're going to challenge during this presentation. And at the end, we're going to have time for any questions and answers for what we're moving forward.
All right, thank you. Pastor asked me to do this because I'm one of the flock here, and this is a mission for us. We're all the sheep, and the sheep need to beget more sheep. So, anyway, so can we move on to the next slide here? I can see it here. So, yes, the vision statement, we came up with this as we've been talking about. The Acts 2, we met with other churches and a facilitator several times in Columbus and other meetings here. And we looked at our strengths, we looked at our weaknesses, where we want to go, where we are now. So we came up with this vision statement, as pastors explained, connecting hurting people with the loving God. Next one. So, and our mission statement, which we've been talking about for quite a while, love God, love each other, love our neighbor, and love all people. So if you go to the next slide, please. So we kind of thought about it this way, kind of a target diagram here with God at the center, and then each other, the congregation, love our neighbor, and love all people. And so we looked at our core values and how we are attacking or approaching these. So next, please. So core value, loving God, preaching and focusing on the Word, our worship services, praise, prayer, and Bible studies. So core value, loving each other, fellowship, times together like the picnic and such, our prayer groups, Bible study, discipleship, things like our men's breakfast and our care ministries. Next one. Benevolence, when, as Pastor mentioned today, when someone in the congregation is in need, we're there. Hospital visits, blessed again, how it serves the community and reaches out. And our correspondence ministry that contacts people in times of need and let them know they're supported. So loving our neighbor, we're partnering with other churches, once again in prayer, and our community outreach. Community outreach are the many projects. Christmas Castle, blessed again, the Sword, food and Bible study, working with multiple other churches on the egg hunt, the Easter experience, and then also being a force in the community, participating in events like Trunk or Treat, parades, National Day of Prayer, local ceremonies. And then loving all people, our missions, starting from local and out to the USA and world, and including Operation Christmas Child. So what are we going to do in the near future here? Well, one thing is we're going to try and update and upgrade our facilities. So these are some things we'd already been working on that fit into this plan. We had the improvements on the heating and air conditioning system, the window tinting. Hopefully by next Sunday, this stage should look very different. Very different. The plan is to have all this area painted dark gray, so that we'll have a different, more modern appearance and a better appearance on our video, since that's a big part of the world today. Some sound dampening to cut down some of the echo in here, working on updating the lighting and the hallway floor. At some point, the hallway floor will match the fellowship hall, or fellowship hall's flooring. We have the flooring, we just need to get it installed. So exteriorly, as everyone can tell, we have a new roof, and the outside doors were done quite a bit of time ago, and then plans to improve the parking lot. Some of the changes with the welcome team, we want to move away from the candy bag. There is going to be instead a kind of a tumbler.
It's right there.
We're in. right, so instead for our new visitors, they will be getting this. So, so they can go home with it instead of candy to rot their teeth. Every time they want a nice cold drink or a hot coffee or something, they'll be reminded of us. So, and at some point we want to work on a church directory. It should be a lot easier to do in the era of digital photography and self-publishing, so we should be able to do that and update it so that everybody can know each other's names and contact info as much as wanted. So we've got a timeline for this. So we're going to do a grand reopening, October 6th. And getting ready for that, this is where we start challenging people. So we want to do some kind of media blitz to get it out to the community electronically, to let people know that there's a new victory here. So there's a challenge. The pastor has little packs of 10 cards. You are being issued these, and you will give them to people. Not leave them around randomly, but some people, and in their hand, and invite them. And we're going to start the pastor will start a sermon series through the month of September, preaching about this vision. And we want to reward you for those who are diligent and aggressive in getting these out, as they have made a decision that whoever brings the most friends will be on track for a $100 prize. So, and we also, all of those who attend here will get this on the grand reopening as well. There's also a plastic cup that is in process for the kids. So, all right, so next one, we're going to get on the radio. That grand reopening, we're going to make it into a big community event. We're going to have a tent outside. We're going to have free food, bounce house for the kids. So try and get out to the community and get people in here. So next up. So then that starts a sermon series, an 8-week sermon series about connecting hurting people to the loving God. Each sermon talks about a different kind of pain that we've all experienced or may experience in our lives. So, and we've got handout cards for those to try and get people to come in.
But first we're going to do the reopening ones, but then we have these.
Yeah. No, we're not going to overload you with paperwork quite yet. So same thing. We're going to have handout invite cards here for it. And another Bring a Friend contest. When people come in, is put your name on the clipboard and how many guests you invited, and we'll see what that challenge can do for the congregation. And lastly, they told us to think big at this meeting. So this is what we're looking for in a 5-year plan. We want to be able to have a family life pastor to work with youth, and a secretary, bookkeeper, somebody to help, because we're going to have all those tithes and offering just pouring in, and we just doing all these programs, so we're going to need more help. So that's what we've been working on, and I guess we're open for questions at this point.
Yeah, there's just a couple things I wanted to highlight. So when he said about the handing out the cards, if you want to place cards out and about, we have more, feel free to do so. But the challenge is to, as we talked about, connecting hurting people to a loving God, touch. The challenge is to hand it to somebody, to anybody. If you think, well, Pastor, I don't know anybody. Okay, go over to Respects and hand it to 10 people.
That's what I thought.
Seriously, you think, well, that's not going to work. I'm going to tell you something. I have done these kind of things before in churches where we just hand it out. I've had people show up to church. I've gotten 6 or 7 of these flyers. I don't know what it's about, but obviously I got 6 or 7 people who must go to that church, and I might need to check out and see what you're doing. Doing a lot of them matters. It'll help. So seriously, doing that. If you say, well, Pastor, I don't feel comfortable doing that. All right, well, do you know your neighbors? Some of them. Okay, so if you go out your house from the right, go 3 houses, right? Do those 3 houses. Then cross the street. Do those 5 houses, cross the street, do those 2 houses, you got 10 folks. And that's not going door to door, big group, right? And so it is the challenge here, and then yes, we're gonna be challenging again here, okay? That whoever has the most guests on that Sunday will have $100. The kids are also in competition with you,
That's good.
okay? So you think $100 motivates you, how much do you think it will motivate our kids? Guys, I had, with one of our churches, well, we are on Facebook Live here. I don't want to get in trouble for this one.